What is up, guys? Technical Sinkers here, checking in on our little 3D print operation for the day. If you're new to the channel, uninitiated or unfamiliar, I do 3D printing here at home for stuff to fix things around the house, enrich my life, and sell on the internet, and just kind of show off on the internet. This is the first vlog episode after my night giant chest night video. I was kind of doing that clandestine outside the vlog because I wanted it to be its own thing and not, you know, kind of drive people to it, because I'm hoping it does well. This won't come out until like a week and a half from now after that video, and I'm hoping it does all right. No dialogue in that video, so we're gonna look at the giant chest night and kind of remark on it a little bit. If you saw that, go back and watch it, because I was trying to get a little artistic in the video. No dialogue, just music and kind of conveying what I'm doing through the use of the pantomime and things like that, trying to be more artistic than I actually am. So what have I got going on the rest of the farm? Not jack shit. Seriously, that night took up a lot of time doing the review on a laser engraver, and I have another printer in-house that I've been working on a lot that I can't even, it's its own separate thing, and that's all I can say about it. So what's on the plates now? Nothing. We've got the tail section of the dog, so the Dummy 13 dog. This has been sitting on the it's been sitting on the plate for like a week now. So gonna probably try to pop those in together. I did the neck and head section of the Dummy 13 dog up here on Cobra number 2, and you can see it made it into a nice rich bolognese. This is not how it's supposed to look, or maybe it is supposed to look like this. Microplastics. So obviously some issues there, and I don't even know what this is indignant of, because, you know, typically when a print would screw up, it would, like, you know, drag the plate around, but it wouldn't keep making the same sort of thing. I mean, this is like mycelium or something. It's very interesting. I don't know if Cobra 2 is reaching sort of the end of its life or what. You know, the Cobras, I was just commenting on it. A couple vlogs ago, I was printing on the Cobras after a long time of them being dormant. And I was saying, like, wow, the Cobras are putting out really high quality prints. And then, boom, bolognese. So into the ocean that goes. Let's go in the office and see what I've actually got going on. All right, and so several things, a lot going on, just a lot of stuff that's kind of like can't talk about or whatever, but you can see the giant chest night over here. So I just finished uploading that, and I guess it'll come out in like a week or so. But it's large, it's about 52 inches tall. Lots of problems with it. Again, if you saw the previous, or the video dedicated to the giant chest piece, there were kind of some problems along the way, and I tried to convey that through the video. Like, you know, the problems I ran into, like the Orange Storm Giga running out of filament on the reprint. You know, again, I was like, how do I convey that? Well, I'll just show myself with an idea bubble above my head and, you know, kind of figure out from there. A special shout out again to my guardian angel, my angel wearing jeans, Mr. Paul, for coming correct and just helping me out. He's been an invaluable resource. I don't know why he continues to help me. I asked him, like, what can I do for you? Can I advertise something for you or something? He's like, no, I'll just help. So he's truly a quality, good human person, and helped me out with kind of some of the questions I had in printing this giant chest piece, because again, this is a model off printables, and indeed someone did reach out to me asking me to print this, but it went nowhere. And then I was like, that's still a pretty cool thing to print. So I just went ahead and printed it. All in, it was, I think it was well under 20 kilos, which is what I thought it was gonna be originally. So this is the chest piece. The model's off printables. It's part of a set. I'll put a link in the description below. These print in one go, except for the main here. All the rest of the chest pieces print in one go. So it's, you know, nice standard set, and I really went for this particular model because the Knight is, in my opinion, probably the most recognizable chess piece. I mean, sure, you know, people like the Queen and the King and pawns and things like that, but you can't mistake the Knight, because it's a horse. And it had this nice mane here, the amount of contrast in the coloring. I was originally going to do a black and something. I was going to do white and yellow, but last minute called an audible, noticed I had 3 kilos of bronze, and I'm like, that should be enough to do it. So obviously scaled that up, and then I sliced the model into several different sort of pieces based on the size. I wanted to get as big as I could within reason. Originally, the idea was to ship this thing, and so I was trying to find a happy medium in shipping price. If I ship this as is in one piece, easy 350 bucks, 400 bucks to ship that thing, because it was originally going to be a little smaller, but I did scale it up. So this middle section here, I've encountered this problem several times, the Moai, several of the other models. This problem here on this inside overhang, that this would happen. This is with 5 wall loops too, and I thought I would get around that. And then it just kind of dawned on me, and I don't know if anyone suggested this, and if you did, I apologize for not reading it, or I probably read it, absorbed it, and then forgot it. Something else took its place in my brain. But just switching the order to outside, inside, because typically overhangs hang over towards the exterior and people go inside, outside, so the outside has something to stick to. So I just did that in reverse and added one more wall loop, and it mostly corrected the issue. Come here, I'll show you. So you can see it's still present a little, but it's not to the point of this, because this is just complete disaster area. The rest of the model, this gap here is giving me major agita. Now that's there because of the correction piece. If you saw in that video, the Armstrong Giga ran out of filament, 5 kilo spool, but I guess there was a weakness at the very, very end and it just snapped. And of course, a piece remained in the runout sensor. And so the printer just kept printing. You saw the clip. If I remember to do it in editing, put the clip here. So that was obviously a bummer, because that piece takes the most amount of filament of any of them, and it was at the very end. I'm like, maybe I can correct for this. I just measured the top down, took a common measurement, and then printed the top little piece on the bamboo. Came out pretty good, except for that gap there, and I think that's more to do with the main being, it warped maybe a little during cooling, and it's forcing the head forward, and that's why there's the gap there that you see running along here. It's not as present on the other side. It's a little better, but overall, you know, I just kind of went with it. I wasn't about to reprint that whole thing because I don't have a buyer for this. I don't even know if I can sell this. I'm certainly going to put it in my retail store as decoration. If someone wants to buy it, then I'll let them buy it. I don't care. But the colorings came out pretty good. Had some issues, if you saw that video, lining it up perfectly, because I hollowed out so many sections of the model. Originally it was solid and I was gonna do it shelled. And so I was like, you know, I don't really need to do it shelled because it's slices of a model. This would be one piece, obviously the head's one piece, but the inside, I can just take a bouillon and hollow it out and make it like a 10mm wall, which is ultimately what I did. Saved a ton of filament on it. Overall, I think I'm in it for like maybe 6 or 7 kilos. It's not as much as it looks like for being such a large model. I haven't held it up to me yet. I still got to do the thumbnail for the night video, but for you vlog peoples, let's hope it stays together. I'll hold it from the bottom. So, yeah, obviously a very large 3D print. Doesn't weigh that much, but you know, a bit cumbersome. Too heavy, too light, too black or too white, cumbersome. It was a lot of fun to print that, and when I originally started out looking at it to price it out, the only place I found on the internet that sells ultra jumbo large chess pieces, I think they're meant for outdoor use, and they probably injection mold them or build them to a much higher standard, but they were $1,200, $1,200 to $1,500 for these giant chess pieces, and they only came out to 4 or 5 feet. This is just a touch over 4 feet, and so if they're charging like $1,500 for it, and then my total cost in this is all in, you know, what is it, a couple $100, let's say all in, that's a pretty healthy markup. The problem is shipping, because again, if you spend $300, $400 to ship this thing, that's a nightmare. And I imagine there are super duper rich people out there who are really into chess that may want a full set, but if to do a full set, what's a full set, 32 pieces? Yeah, I wouldn't do it for less than like $25,000. And that's not including the board. If I had to do the board, you're talking like 50K, because that would just be a nightmare. But if you had several gigas running and you could do it with certainty, probably print it a lot more solid and have it just kind of down pat, and maybe you could stamp those out. I don't know that there's much of a market for it, but you know, hey, all you gotta sell is one, and you're driving a nice Toyota, maybe. And to speak to that, the Armstrong Giga pulling the filament off the 5 kilo spool, I don't have any extra 5 kilo spools on order. but I did drop one, and I just cracked the dickens out of it, and so it would not fit in the roller, so I printed this one up. This one threads through the center, and it rolls on bearings, so this thing will roll it'll go for a while. That's to eat up that final 5 kilo spool, and it will also kind of keep the spools from bouncing out. You could use this for 1 kilo spools and things like that. So this would be a nice addition for the Giga for like a day, because I think, yes, that's right, I have an Infinity S1, Infinity Flow S1 coming as well. You've probably seen several of my peers, other YouTube 3D printers. They have those, they've done videos on them. I reached out to them and they said they're sending me one. So that will be super duper, super sick to get one of those, especially for the Giga, because often I'm running out of filament during these large prints. And what's the solution for that? Well, everyone says, well, you just pay attention to it. I'm not paying attention to it. I'm not sitting there all day watching that thing. So the Infinity Flow will be fantastic for that. Gonna get that in hopefully soon, install that, and then that's just one less thing to deal with. The other thing too here, it's been eating up a ton of time, is the Falcon 2 Pro from Creality, this laser engraver. You might remember I did a laser engraver review many moons ago of a smaller, cheaper model. This is an absolute beast, and so dedicated content on that obviously coming out, but had a lot of success with it. Very interesting to kind of operate a more proper laser, one that's fully fleshed out. So stay tuned for that if you're interested in those. Leave a comment below. Do you use these, or do you like seeing laser engraver reviews on my channel? Because my main thing is 3D printing, but laser engravers are kind of in orbit around the 3D print space. A lot of people use them, and go back and forth. So I'm not too sure how interested you guys are, the audience, on that kind of thing. Let me know in the comments. So the name of the game until the next time around. I know this is I don't have a lot of transitions in this video, and I was just talking head most of the time. Not a lot of new stuff, so apologies for that, but I appreciate you nonetheless taking the time. The next thing to jump back on is we'll get the laser engraver review done, and then back to our Dummy 13 dog, because she needs some love. I've already thought of a name for her too, and I already know what color I'm gonna do. So you'll just have to stay tuned for that, but let me know what you would call it. It's gonna be pink, okay? So the armor's gonna be pink, the skeleton's gonna be black, and I've already thought a name for her. Using those clues, Gumshoes, what do you think her name's gonna be? It's one of 4 names, and so gonna be printing those, trying to get those together. Going to be implementing fuzzy skin on the outside of those too. A lot of people suggesting that, and I'm like, I keep forgetting that setting exists, and in the past I've had great success with it. I just worry about the extra wear and tear on the machine, all those little vibrations that the machine has to do to get the fuzzy skin, but I guess they're made for that. So going to be working on that, going to be working on the reviews galore. And let me know about the giant chest piece, because I couldn't really prompt comments in that video. That video might get 500 views, who knows? But I couldn't really prompt comments if people like to see those giant exhibition prints for things like the big chest piece. There's plenty of other stuff I could print that's super duper ultra large like that. So let me know what you think about that in the comments if you want to see more prints like that. And what should I do with this thing? I was just gonna take it to my store and put it in there, but if you've got a better idea for something to do with that, let me know in the comments. Be sure to like the video because it's a nice thing to do, and subscribe for more content like this on the Technicals. See you next time.